Hey everybody, so I'm about to go do some work here on the farm and I wanted to show you guys what I use this thing for. Obviously, I don't want to keep tearing it up, so when I put this stuff in here, for example, I gently set it in the bed. But that's what it's for. It's a work truck, and this liner I've put on here has actually held up really well considering all of the crap I tend to not throw in here. When I say throw in here, you know what I mean. All the crap that I put in this bed. So, the concrete, wood, rocks, hay, this type of concrete right here. I just had to recently replace a bunch of poles that the horses, they tend to rub their butts or, rub their necks or whatever on the poles, and they tend to snap them sometimes. So, especially if they're made out of poplar, which all of these are pretty much. So poplar is okay, but once it gets really dry, it tends to snap easily. So we're gonna start the vehicle now and gonna get going to what I do around here on the property. So the gas gauge no longer works in this thing. I got it working, but it decided to take a dump on me recently, so I don't know how much gas is in the vehicle. And the choke doesn't work on this thing very much either, so I always have to hold my foot on the throttle because it's missing a plastic arm on the carburetor for the choke. But it starts right up. So I'm going to flash forward now and get to where I need to get going and show you guys what I do here. So the Jeep's all backed up now. Gotta let it warm up a little bit. Gotta close these doors so the horses don't get in here. Hard to do this one-handed. Old-fashioned way of closing these old barn doors. So okay, let's flash forward to the next part. Alright, so I got my chainsaw, hearing protection. Gonna go for a short little drive here. I mean short. Not a very big property, but so I'll open up this gate and take a drive to where I need to go. Let's flash forward to that. Alright, so close the gate. I'm gonna hop in here, get to where I need to go. Just up this hill over here. See, that fence is broken, so I need to fix that. So it's just a short little drive from here to the barn. Like I told you guys, it's not a huge area. It's only about like 5 acres or so that's fenced. But this is kind of what I do almost every day. I just recently cleared all this out. That huge burn pile right there in the center. But I need to bring the chainsaw in here, and a few of the trees that I cut down I use as posts. So I know a lot of people say, well, they're gonna break, and yeah, they've broke. I've replaced maybe about 10 or 12 so far this year. You know, they were broken from a while ago or just recently broke. But you know, they lasted for 3.5 years, and I don't mind having to replace posts every now and then. So it saves me money. I don't have to buy them. I just dig and throw them in the ground. Generally, I know you're supposed to peel the bark off of these things, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do and just throw them right in. So you can see they really screwed this one up. Now normally, yes, you're supposed to have 2 or 3 boards on here, and for most of the fence I do, but I just ran out of money when it came to building this side. So this definitely has to be fixed, because if they break through this one board right here or whatever, then they can get loose. So but I'm working on getting 2 boards and then 3. I've already did the whole section back there, 2 boards, about a week and a half ago, and this is the next one. So anyway, let me flash forward. So this is what I'm talking about. You just get your chainsaw and go into the woods, and you just cut these little trees, all these little trash trees, and you get lots of posts from them, so it's free. So I'm going to use what I got. So that's how I built my fence. And this is what I mean. Perfect fence post. It's about 7 feet tall, so I'm going to have to cut an extra foot or so off of it once I bury it. But this is definitely not poplar. This is I think it's some kind of oak. I might be wrong, but it's definitely harder than poplar, so they won't break this one, at least not for many years. And then I'll just set it in my bed. Here we are, another short little trip over to the broken fence. So, I showed you guys these things. They're bad. So, all you got to do is dig around the hole and then pull the thing out of the hole. And then you got to dig the hole a little bit wider and deeper. And then you put your thing back in the hole and then bury it. That's all it is. Done. 2 fence posts replaced. Didn't have concrete, so I had to bury them as close to 3 feet as I could. There's a lot of shale in the ground here, so it's kind of hard to dig in this stuff. But that's all done. Now I just gotta pick all this crap up. And load it in the truck. And then go back in. And that's it. So this is not a whole day's work worth of work, but it can be if you got to replace like 20 of them. So and then have to build the fencing and dig all of that. It's a lot of work doing all this. And I don't know what I would do without this truck. I could certainly do it with my Grand Cherokee, but not nearly at the scale of this truck. So there's the culprits, if the camera will stop shaking, that keep breaking this stuff. Anyway, time to park in the garage. Thanks everybody for watching. this is my typical day usually, so other than work.